Hi, you guys. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're at on this planet. I'm really excited to be here today to kind of share something with you about my personal journey and some of the 3 to 4 major things that I did to become a psychic medium and then later on a successful spiritual awakening and business coach. I know a lot of you guys have been reaching out to me saying, I want to be like you. I want my brand to be like yours. And like, how did you get there? And so that's why I'm going to jump on and do this training for you guys today so you can kind of learn what to expect. So let me know if you're here live or on the replay. And I'm definitely recording this for the Craving Consciousness podcast. And I know my amazing team member, my assistant Lynette, is going to put this up on the YouTube channel too. Oh, I love what I do. We're growing by leaps and bounds, you guys. So I'm so excited to have you guys here on this journey. I'm going to start recording this. So hi, you guys. I'm so excited to have you guys on this journey with me. I really want to share how I became a psychic medium and then a successful spiritual awakening and business coach. I'm going to give you like 3 to 4 major things that I did. This is going to give you an idea on how you could get to where I'm at today. Like I was saying, a lot of you guys have been asking me a lot of these questions, and a lot of you have really been reaching out going, I want a brand like yours. I want to be like you. And so you guys need to be prepared to do the things that I did in order for you to get to this place that I'm at, right? So in the very beginning of my journey, literally I saw I've always been a spiritual person. I was like the first person in line to get like a tarot reading at the Renaissance Fair, or I had even gone to a couple psychics before. I was just super intrigued, and I went to like UFO conventions with my mom to like learn more about light workers, and I went to like see Deepak Chopra speak, and this was all like the beginnings of the thing. But I was never like this psychic medium. I was super fascinated with remote viewing. So the people that train under me, we do a lot of remote viewing. I was super fascinated with that. But really, literally, what happened is I became Facebook friends with a medium, and one day I saw that she posted, "Do you want to meet your spirit guides?" And I was like, well, the holy to hell, yes, I do. And so I took her class on how to meet my spirit guides. And as soon as I realized I was not crazy and I really wasn't making this shit up, I started mentoring underneath this medium and took some of her programs and quickly realized, I'm so glad I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to like so many people because we're recording this and I'm going to repurpose the content. But Natalie, I'm so glad you made this live because she literally just graduated the Awaken program. Blow your shit mind out of this world. Turn me to, medium, like blow your mind medium. And so like, this is why I get so passionate about it. So what happened is I trained under this mentor, and as soon as I realized I'm not crazy, I'm not making this up, and it was such a dramatic change to my life, I started teaching. And I'm glad I started teaching when I did, because now I've been teaching for so many years. I don't feel like I'm blowing my ego up by saying I'm an actual expert in the spiritual awakening department, especially when it comes to psychic and mediumship development. I mean, that's my jam, right? So I started teaching, and then what ended up happening is I'm going through this process. So I don't want to go too quickly because I was teaching, right? And if you guys have been watching my Instagram stories at Spiritual Awakening Babe, I have been sharing a lot of from the very beginning. And I literally shared a picture the other day of my very, very, very first students, like my very, very, very first class that I taught. I think, and it was kind of online and kind of local. So I shared a picture because some of them, we had a barbecue afterwards. Literally out of, I think 6 or 8 people maybe took my class the very first time. Literally, most of them took it for free. And then some of them bartered. And then some of them were, just paying me here and paying me there. So what happened was I was freaking broke. I was so broke. And I remember posting on Facebook once saying, how am I going to get out of this like pattern? Like, I want to be this entrepreneur, but what the hell? Because I had such a messed up mindset. So what ended up happening then is one of my, I guess you would call it peers at the time, she was a successful blogger. And she had her life together. She had 4 kids. She was blogging. She's all over social media. She was, showing up on, some news channels and stuff. And I'm like, this lady has her shit together. So I literally reached out to this lady and I'm like, look, will you be my coach? And she says, but honey, I'm not a coach. And I said, well, you don't think you're a coach, but you really are, because you have your shit together and I need help. So I literally worked with that lady for like a year and a half, my first coach. And at the time, what I was charging for either people to take my psychic medium program or to coach with me was absolutely asinine. That's why I was so broke, because I had no idea of my value or my power at that time. Well, so this lady really helped me, and she was there to help me write my first book, Your Freaking Amazing Life. And I wrote in that book all about my freaking struggles with people pleasing and my price point and growing as a psychic medium and spiritual coach. So I wrote all about it in that book. And then something happened a few years ago. I was walking in the forest in Cadillac, Michigan. And I all of a sudden started crying out of nowhere. Like I had this complete freaking breakdown. I had a complete identity crisis because what happened at that time, I was working so hard. I was working so hard to get people to work underneath me or get a reading from me or take a class or coach with me that I burnt myself the fuck out. Right? I burnt myself the fuck out. So what happened is I got rid of my coach and I went through the dark night of the soul. And it was probably 6 months of just like, I gave up. Like, I'm like, this, I just guess maybe this is not for me. Conjoin that with a lot of struggles that I had mentally. And I posted about that yesterday about my mom's beliefs about what I should be doing for my future, right? And it just didn't feel right. So I struggled so freaking hard for quite some time there. Well, it was like my business started really plummeting because of that dark night of the soul, and I lost belief in myself, even though here I was now an author, and I was actually speaking at like the local library and doing things like that. Well, what happened, like I said, dark night of the soul. Oh girl, Jessica's like the dark night. And I like to say it was a dark and stormy night. It was horrible. So what did I do? At the very bottom, right here, I had already hired my first coach, worked with her for a year and a half, wrote my first book, already writing my second book. Maybe I'm like timing this off a little bit. I am timing this off. Wrote my second book, started maybe charging actual rates for my class, right? I'm sharing this, you guys, because I want you to know what the real freaking deal is. So what happened about 2 years ago, that's the day when I was at the pit of my dark night of the soul. And I think I shared this on another thing. And if not, so I literally got a job. I got a job at a dry cleaners. Go figure. One of my very first jobs I had was at a dry cleaners, and I ended up working my way up to management, and I worked at the cleaners probably for 6 years before I went into commercial real estate. So I remember messaging my mom, right? This is the darkest part of my dark night of the soul. And she goes, well, wow, you come around full circle. Almost like she approved of, well, good for you. Now you're going to go back. I walked in. Turned around and walked out. And that is exactly when we were talking about hitting rock bottom. And that's where I was. I was hitting rock bottom. I wasn't being authentic with my audience. They didn't know I was struggling, right? And so what ended up happening is my husband was in the shower. We had 99 plus 34. So what was that? Like $124 in the bank, literally. And we were so destitute. But I've been following another coach, and she was like, this program's going to end. And I literally was going to have to pay her at first $100 a month. And I'm like, holy crap, for a year, right? So $1,200 or $1,600. And I'm like, holy crap. I told my husband, I am signing up for another coaching program, and it's only going to leave us with $34 in the bank, but I'm going to figure it out. I signed up with this coach, and that day I made $2,000. It was something about pushing that button saying that I'm stepping forward in my fucking life. Like, I've got to fucking do this. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody is going to save you, right? But pushing that button, I made $2,000 that day, and I think I made $8,000 that month. Everything turned around for me then. Now, if I had signed up for that same program a year before that, or maybe in a year after that, I don't think it would have served me, but I definitely needed a coach, right? I probably would have failed making the payments because I was in such a shithole of a mindset. But I took action and I was scared as shit. And that year I doubled my income. That was 2018. I doubled my income from basically nothing to at least enough to sustain my husband and I, because at that point, in case you guys don't know, right? Frick yeah, Nikisha, I had faith. It was either faith it till you make it or just go rock bottom. And I had already been rock bottom. I pushed the button. And then I signed up for another coaching program on top of that. So I ended up spending $250 a month for a year, and then more on top of that to stay involved in her little circle, right? So so what happened with that, and then my husband's health completely took a shitter, right? He wasn't able to work for like a year and a half. He had like hernia, then he had congestive heart failure a little over a year ago. So he wasn't working at all, like at all. And I'm not even gonna lie, during that one of those, the dark night of the soul, your girl was at the food pantry. Like, I'm not even shitting you. I literally just went and donated a bunch of food 2 days ago to the same place that I went to a few years ago, because I wanted to give back, because I was at a point, right? So 2018, I think I made 60,000, right? And then what happened is in February 2019, my business is going great. I had plans to make $200,000 this year, right? I was on point, $200,000 this year. And February 2019, my mom got sick. And so I went to Vegas and took care of her for 6 months. So if you guys have been watching me, right, almost my whole year, I haven't actually been able to be behind the desk and actually be working, right? But do you know what? I'm coming in still, and I'll share with you guys at the end of next month, right? I'm coming in still at that 60, if not more, maybe like 70, without actually working my business, because of the belief, because of the momentum, and because of showing the fuck up for myself, right? So then, do I always have a coach? I want to share with you. Do I always have a coach? No, not necessarily. Do I have a coach right now? Fuck yeah, I have a coach right now. And as a matter of fact, I paid for her all in full. And the minute I push that button, everything's freaking amazing. I'm loving working with this person. So what was the points that I decided that I got to get a freaking coach? If you're trying to figure out all the shit by yourself, you're going to be trying to figure out shit all by yourself for a really long fucking time. If you think somebody's going to come and save you and make your business better just by doing the same things you're doing, or your life better just by doing the same things you're doing, you're hella wrong. And so I'm sharing my story with you because I want you to realize that you too are going to have to make these investments. You have to. You're going to have to do something, or else you're going to keep getting the same thing over and over and over. So signs that you need to have a coach: you keep having the same results. Your mindset's the same. I was saying something the other day that you need new information to come into your brain. Working with these other people can help you, right? Right? Push the fucking button, Barbara. Push the fucking button. Push the button. So if this story like really resonates with you, how many of you guys can totally relate to this story? I want to know. Drop it in the comments right now, whether you're listening on the podcast later, on the Craving Consciousness podcast, if you're on my Spiritual Awakening Babe YouTube channel, or if you're here in your Spiritual Awakening community on Facebook. How does this make you feel? Like, are you going to bite the bullet one of these days, whether it's a coaching program with me or not? Are you going to finally realize that your life, at some point, you have to take responsibility for your life if you want it to get better? Otherwise, what's the alternative? Yes, Barbara can relate. Emma says, yes, so very true, right? Tiffany says, yes, she could totally relate. Yes, you guys, thank you. Yep, resonates. Lindsay says, yes. It's not sad, right? Lindsay says it gives her hope, because that means to me that she's actually thinking about turning around and investing in itself. Lisa says, the day I invested into the Alignment Academy, everything changed her life. And she's talking about a $33 investment. She loved herself for $33 fucking dollars. Hell yes. Hell yes. Congratulations, Lisa. You know what I'm saying? The minute she pushed that button for 33 bucks, not 3,333, $33, she made a statement to herself. She made a commitment to herself, and that's what got me to where I'm at today, right? Yep. Jory, you get it. You need a shove. Hello. You invest in yourself quite well, and I love you for that. So, yes, she just needed a shove, and she took action. Jory's pushed a bunch of buttons, so don't let her think she hasn't. If you're feeling like you're not in a place of empowerment, then message me. Kicking yourself in the ass, Barbara. Stop kicking yourself in the ass and push the fucking button. Your whole life will change. What is stopping you, right? Yep, I'm your sign. And Luann invested in herself too. In more than, I know she's in our Alignment Academy, but in more than that, I know because we've been talking about she's doing stuff with her business. I think it's amazing. So if you guys have questions about coaching with me or taking one of my programs so that you can get closer to where you want to be or closer to where I'm at today, do it. Because you know what? A long time ago, and because I'm all riled up, I'm all sauced up about this subject. You could feel the power, right? I just lost what I was gonna say. I was all fired up. Anyway, I was fired up and then I lost it. It floated away because I was reading your comments. But yes, push the button. The minute you do that, you say something to yourself. I'm worth this. I want a better life, right? That's exactly what happens. Oh, what I was going to tell you my deodorant story, but then that's kind of deflating this situation. But anyways, you guys, that's my story. I'm also, here's another big thing for you. I'm also looking at a mastermind for $15,000 right now. That's fucking scary as hell. How would you like to be looking at something like that? A $15,000 investment, and there's no guarantee of what's going to happen out of that investment other than what you think is going to happen. But the minute that you love yourself enough to push the damn button, your life is going to change. I love you guys. Have a gorgeous day.